Yo, I'm Moza FSR and today I'm going to review the Moza FSR Formula Wheel and R9 wheelbase for you. Let's go! First, we start with the unboxing of the FSR Formula Wheel. It comes in a very sturdy and nicely designed box. When we open the lid, we first find lots of stickers for the steering wheel, the instruction manual, an Allen key and 2 damping pads, which I will talk about later. The steering wheel itself is in a nice bag to protect it better. My first impression of the steering wheel is very positive because it is very well made. It is mainly made of Toray 3K carbon fiber. There are perforated leather grips on the palmers which provide a very good grip even without gloves. But the special thing about the steering wheel is definitely the 4.3-inch display at the front, on which 15 different UI interfaces can be displayed, which can show the data from all racing games. I will show you all of these in more detail later. On the back are dual clutch photoelectric magnetic pedals for shifting up and down. However, as you can hear, they are very loud, which is why Moza also includes dampers that you can attach to reduce the volume. As you can see by this video, it's no problem at all to install these. Underneath the pedals for shifting up and down are the pedals for the clutch with a spring. In my opinion, these provide very good feedback. The spring is not too weak, so you can judge the bite point very well. The buttons on the front have a very nice pressure point that is not too light, so you can't press them by mistake. The same goes for the rotary switch at the front and side. These are very precisely manufactured. You have no dead zone at all in it. And so it is almost impossible to accidentally turn the switch 2 positions further, which I would like to emphasize very positively. But the nicest thing about every unboxing is for sure pulling off the screen protector. A very satisfying feeling, isn't it? Like the steering wheel, the wheelbase also comes in a very well padded box. First we find the instruction manual and stickers in the box. The power supply and all important cables are of course included. The R9 wheelbase is also in an extra bag. It is very small and compact and still offers 9 Nm torque as a direct drive wheelbase. The housing is made of metal with an aerospace grade aluminium alloy. It comes with 4 screws for installation and the pre-drilled holes on the bottom of the wheelbase perfectly match the ones on my rig, so the installation was done without any complications. If your rigs also have standard holes, the wheelbase will always fit. The installation of the wheel onto the wheelbase is very similar to the installation of a steering wheel in a real race car. Simply place the 6 bolts over the holes and push it on. Then we switch on the steering wheel and look into the software, which is called Moza Pit House. There are a lot of settings you can make in the software. For one thing, there are predefined settings for drift cars, formula cars, GT cars, karts, performance and rally cars. You can adjust the steering wheel angle and sensitivity. You can refine everything in the advanced settings. Now we come to the settings related to the display. On the one hand, you can manually set the color of each button and also the color bar for the engine revs. There are also presets here, but you can also fully customize it as you wish. The different dashboard displays can be set to your liking. Let's have a quick look for all options. So you have 15 different options and for sure that's something that you will like. For example, here the official graphics from the F1 game with tire wear and also how much damage you have. Then these darker options with the purple, so when you play in the dark that it's not too bright from the display of the steering wheel. Here my favorite with a lot of information on it, so you really have everything on that. That's also pretty cool, and then you have some simple one with only the gear and speed. But now let's take a look at my first impressions of the wheelbase and steering wheel's handling as I did my first laps in iRacing. Enjoy! Alright, so let's go. My first lap with my new Moza equipment. Let's go! I have to say, so far it feels really good. A really nice feedback from the wheelbase. And there, did the apex perfectly. And it's also really cool to have all these things like gears, lap time, speed and so on. Also now here at the display in front of me instead of only at the screen. So that's really nice, really cool to see. It feels instantly much more realistic, because if you want to see what gear you are or what the delta says, you're looking down to your real wheel in front of you instead of just looking at the dashboard at the screen at your monitor. So that's really cool. So then you actually have that feeling in real life that when you look down, you will not see the full road ahead of you anymore, instead of just your eyes that going a little bit down. So that's really cool. Can't look too long at the display like in real life, then you have to check where the car is going again. And yeah, also running over the curbs, you get really good feedback from the wheel, and it's not loud. Also here it would be so loud. Here you have just that really nice feedback from the wheel. You can make adjustments here, for example, like in IndyCar, which I will test later. Then you can just change here your engine mode. I'm really looking forward to that. Alright, so let's test the F1 car now. DRS activated. Check the mirror. Yeah, it is. Perfect. Okay, tires are not up to temperature yet. But yeah, overall my first impression from the wheelbase and wheel with display is really good. Oh, the lockup again. The F1 car is just something different than the F3 car, much more difficult to drive. But yeah, overall from the wheel, my first impression is really good. So I'm really looking forward now for more intense testing with it. And then after a few test sessions, I plan about a week now to test it, then I will give you a nice feedback. But now enjoy some impressions. So now let's go for some Formula 2 racing in Australia, starting at P11 in the middle of the field. Our start wasn't that good. We have the car on the left, so we go in the middle to the first corner, also car at the inside, but we can stay at 11th position for now, heading down now to turn number 3. We're looking for the inside line to make up a few positions, and we're going 3 wide. Hauger now on the left, but we made up the position side by side. He's now at the inside. Very close racing here with him. Then I also went for a test in the F1 car with Leclerc. Again, not a good start. I was still not used to the clutch at this point. We are lost the position to Hamilton, down to 3rd now, through behind us, and now going through Eau Rouge for the first time. I was really looking forward to that. but also here very nice feeling from the wheel. And then I also had a very nice fight with Zoo, who overtook me here into turn 3 at the second lap. I stayed close to him during the whole lap and then tried to fight back one lap later, going down the inside, and he actually locks up, so I get a better line through the corner, and then I'm back in P3 again. But now let's see how my review for the equipment is. It is now about 2 weeks later and I have tested the Moza FSR steering wheel and the R9 wheelbase very extensively. I have about 30 hours of playtime behind me with the wheel. I've tested it in a wide variety of games. I started with iRacing because in my opinion it is just simply the best simulation, and from the beginning on I was very satisfied with the force feedback from the wheel. The wheel gave me very authentic, comprehensible and detailed feedback. The only downside to my Fanatec Podium DD1 that I noticed is that the 9Nm from the R9 wheelbase is a bit too weak for me. I would have liked to have some stronger forces because I'm used to them. But over time I got used to it and then it was fine. As you saw, I also tested it in F122 and I'm very happy with the steering wheel on that game as well. I also included R-Factor 9 and Assetto Corsa into the test, and Tier 2 it was no problem to configure and adjust the steering wheel, and I was very happy with the feeling. I was particularly impressed by the rotary switches on the side, because with my Fanatec steering wheel it sometimes happened that when there were too many vibrations or I had to counter steer jerkily, I accidentally changed the brake balance with my thumb. But this never happened to me with the FSR from Moza because the rotary switches are much more stable and you have to use more force to turn them, so it can't happen accidentally. On the back of the steering wheel there are unfortunately only pedals for shifting up and down, and the clutch. I missed additional pedals above the shifters because I'm used to having DRS and other functions at the back of the steering wheel because they are even easier to use than the buttons at the front. All in all, I'm very impressed with the materials used for the steering wheel because they are of a very high quality and the steering wheel is manufactured to a very high standard. I had no faults during the test phase and no signs of wear so far. Even when I drove without gloves, I had very good grip from the steering wheel. So I would say the test was a full success. I'm very happy with the equipment that Moza sent to me. Thank you very much again to them. And if you want to know more about the Moza equipment, take a look at the video description. There you will find some links to the steering wheel and the wheelbase. Check it out. If you have any questions about the wheel or wheelbase, write them down in the comment section. I will answer all of them. And now, if you like the video, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel so you do not miss any future videos. See you next time. Until then, bye bye.